Happy Halloween! We're
Woo!
here. It's Halloween. We're recording this. I'm joined by two Survivor Whitewater and maybe not one Wisconsin great, but one Wisconsin great into the next to me. I don't know about Mr. Elton John himself, but he'll get his redemption. He'll get his redemption. But we're here.
Eventually, like 4 years from now, when it's like Survivor Wisconsin 128.
Right, facts. Well, we're here to.
I don't know if it'll be that high.
We're here. We're joined to talk about who the most entertaining players from every single season we've ever done, including Whitewater, including Wisconsin. Yes, this might not have been the best player of the season. Sometimes it is. It's whoever we found the most entertaining throughout the season. Also, who was funny as hell, let's be honest. So we're going to go through every season. And I know that season one was not filmed. It's not on this channel. There's ghost stories. You can ask people that played. I myself played. But anything else my co-host want to add here, Christian and Rich Dog?
Yeah, all I want to say is, guys, it's personal preference, which means it's going to be different because some people might find something else more entertaining than another thing. I don't care. All I got to say is I'm the only person to have ever received film from season one. Just remember that, but we'll get into that story when it's time.
Well, now I want to see this. No, I was gonna say for season one, I've heard a lot from Devin, obviously. I've heard bits and pieces from. I know Brian. I've heard bits and pieces from Brian. Nevers. And then I think I want to say I've heard some bits and pieces from Michael Garcia and Kyle Shield a few years back or whatever, but I was so long ago. Like I've heard ghost stories. Like someone said it, I think it was in Legends, that like we've heard like ghost stories about it, but no one's seen the full thing. But
maybe there'll be a podcast on the road where we do a ghost story talking about the whole season.
I'd want to do that. I was thinking about doing that like ages ago, like over a year ago, and I think someone said I couldn't get people for it.
Maybe just a few of us, but let's dive into it. Let's dive into season one. Most entertaining player, whoever we thought was that. Let's get to it. So, yeah, I'm gonna put myself. I mean, I was there. I was pretty like in cahoots with how the game would work compared to everybody else. It was just like a trial. We didn't think this would ever turn into anything. You know, wasn't recorded. I did find multiple idols and played them correctly. And I kind of run out of allies. And the three girls, Sam, Bree, and Bree, got my ass. So it was kind of poetic justice for me being an asshole the whole game that kind of ran out of options and ended up falling just short of it. Maybe they wouldn't have gave me the win at the end. I think I had the most accolades, but I was not very friendly to people when they were sent out, I'll be honest. And then I think the cherry on top for me, the most memorable thing that this is why I wish season was recorded. Obviously, it would have looked really bad on my part, but as I'm voted off as a juror, I made one of the Brees in the final three try to make her look as bad as possible since she wouldn't bring me to the end and really just crapped on her game, and she actually ended up crying because they didn't realize how competitive it was and that I love this shit, and now we're here, 14 seasons we've done, so I'd have to put myself. I know it's all ghost stories, and yeah, it doesn't have as much praise as other seasons. I completely agree with that, but it was a great time.
So. Still the OG at the end of the day.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So, I also put Devin for the first season. Also could be known as Daemon Targaryen at the bottom left corner there.
Shit, I didn't even see that first.
So, first things first, I have the only video from that entire season ever sent to me, and it was Devin in the mirror going, found the hidden immunity idol, and he shows it to me in the mirror. He was taking a selfie because that was the one and only season people got to use their phones. And I was out in New Jersey. It didn't matter. I had no effect on the game. And I'm just like, what the heck is going on? Where are you playing Survivor? And that's kind of what kicked off idol identifiers in the first place, us talking about it and then going into COVID and all that. But back to the season, I just find it so funny. I could not – what I would do and pay to just see Devin going, I think Kyle's lying to me. Simple Kyle. Like, Kyle didn't lie in a season for, like, his first 3 or 4. Like, Kyle just didn't have the ability. And then – also just being aligned with Benji, like, dude, what I would have paid to see Devin's reaction when he heard Benji just go like, oh my god, like every single round, especially when he got voted out.
Yeah, he got out with a rock, actually.
I know, he got out with a rock, which is crazy. Devin literally dominated, and the only reason his alliance fell apart was literally rocks at the end of the day. So I find that entertaining. Also, was the only person that I really could vote for because it's the only film I ever saw, so it kind of makes sense. And I'm not voting for Brienne Nevers. I don't care if she won. Sorry.
Well, okay, I'm probably a basic bitch. I'm so original. I picked Devin as well. I remember hearing bits and pieces about how Devin was one of the main people who orchestrated the JP blindside in season 1, and I honestly thought it was really interesting, just the level of gameplay that I feel like you had versus other people, along with some parts with Calvin Rock Draw, where a huge reason for that partially was because people were freaking out about you having an idol. There was some other chaos in the end game with the idols. I'm pretty sure, if I recall correctly, I heard that your idol got Kyle out at the final 5, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, because it was me and Kyle versus the 3 girls, and I obviously was gonna play my idol's last time to play it, and me and Kyle voted together. The other 3 didn't, so I was like,
yeah, I thought that was fun with the endgame stuff, and then obviously like the jury stuff, Final Tribal Council. Like nothing against Brie England, I've always wanted to play with her, but like it's kind of an iconic moment. If you could like tear someone a new one at the Final Tribal and make them lose their shit on the spot, like that's kind of iconic. Like Johnny Fairplay-esque shit. So
I was you and Michael before you guys had your guys' crazy Final Tribal Council stuff. So imagine that probably how it'd be like.
Same.
I actually remember mine though. I'm trying to remember Michael's, to be honest.
Michael with Rob, Twist Manor. We'll get to it maybe. But
with Rob. Oh, the jury roundtable. No, that wasn't filmed. I'll get to that later on though when we get to.
All right, so we're gonna move on to season 2, which is the first season we filmed, Heroes vs. Villains, that we constructed during COVID when it all went down, and this is gonna get kicked off with Mr. Milwaukee Chris himself here.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of simple. Milwaukee Chris, a gangsta Chris, when I vote you out, whatever you want to call me. It's kind of how it went that season. I mean, I came in, honestly, just trying to, be my favorite Survivor characters all at once. Like, it was just, a dream come true to be able to, try it out and kind of screw around. So I was purposefully being an asshole. And, I always say best to my girlfriend, everyone's got an asshole. It's just hers comes in boyfriend form. Well, for Survivor this last season, the very second one, I guess technically, it was really simple for me. Be kind of a jerk. If you went against my people, I was coming for you, and I told you. I lied right to Michael's face. He told me it's the best moment in his life that I brought him to the bathroom to lie to him. Guess what happened, Michael? I put your ass out next round. Don't tell me information and everything you know, and then expect me to think you're useful at the end of the day. That was my mindset back then. It was a little bit kind of toolish, but it was entertaining for sure. Winning the challenges was fun, but I think my favorite for sure will always be the Dion getting the revenge. Just watching him go out, I'm like, seriously?
Yeah, that
he was my number 1 alliance going into the game, and it was out the window.
No.
That probably played to my favorites. It kind of basically just forced me to play the game from round 1 on, and I think it helped honestly make me a better player immediately.
Okay, but I want to ask you this: with Dion, had Dion actually survived? And yes, I picked you. So it had Dion actually lasted? Would you have actually worked with him till the end, or would you have gotten him out earlier on?
No, I would have worked with Dion. I think Dion might have tried getting me out. I don't think he really would have had the persuasion to do so, given the splits and the people there. But you never know at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Also, one last thing I'll add: the whole Jake going at Jake, because I found out he was talking about me during the challenge that I was winning because I was dominating every single time. Yeah, don't come for the Godfather. Moving on.
Drum roll. I picked you. Yeah, I mean, obviously the Godfather stuff, that was pretty fun to watch. It was like Boston Rob-esque, I still remember watching it, and there were scenes where you essentially were keeping people on their toes. I'm pretty sure it's around final 7 or 8 where I remember a scene where you and Cody go up to Jake, and I want to say it was JP or someone else, and you got Jake's freaking out. Darius. Yeah, I don't know why I forgot that Darius was in that combo, but essentially Jake wanted to go for you or Cody or something like that, and you're like, well, you guys aren't gonna go for us, and Jake's freaking out, knee level anxiety, just in a moment he's hissing himself, and you're just like, okay, well, here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna do this shit, then this, and I'm just watching. I'm like,
Yeah, I think that's when I looked at the camera and went like this after they walked away.
And then the individual immunity record is something that not many people have even. I don't think anyone in Wisconsin has tied it yet. I had like one person at SNC who tied it, and I think the only other Whitewater people who tied it were Colin and Jack DeMett, if I recall correctly. Although I don't think I'm missing anyone.
Jack DeMett beat me to fucking tie it. I was kind of pissed because if I had won it, then I could have.
I talk about the Final Four tie vote. I don't count that.
No, he didn't do the Final Four.
No, it was actual challenges.
No, he won he beat me at like a decent amount of challenges in a row. I cooked second every time, but that helped my game, so whatever.
Yeah, well, I have to look more into that, but yeah. So I mean, you still set the record originally, so I mean, you still get props for that. So you were like a pretty big force. So I mean, it was kind of obvious, like.
Anything else you want to add, Richie? Is that good?
Nothing I can think of because I'm pretty sure I have a good hunch about who you're gonna pick.
Yeah, I had to put Christian, Milwaukee Chris as well. I mean, I just remember sitting in my room, COVID's going on. I'm like, we really need to like continue the Survivor thing, and I immediately wanted to get Christian. We were at Christian's house, and I recruited them to play, and it lived up to it. And it's crazy. This season still is like the most viewed season we ever had, and it's the lowest quality and the shittiest like camera and just all the editing stuff. But it was crazy that would happen, and obviously like. I didn't pick Christian every time he played for most entertaining, but like you kind of have like whenever Christian and your brother Christian play, Corey, it's just like hard not to put you guys as the most entertaining person in the season alone just because your guys' interviews are hilarious and you guys are very blunt like in the interviews, which is fucking awesome. I mean, Challenge Beast, the original one, yeah, I know Colin and Jack DeMett did tie it or break it, or whatever you want to say, but that's the OG right there. And then the Revenge for Dion, I mean, that set everything up. It was freaking hilarious. And I just remember that video you took, like, upstairs through someone's bedroom when Dion got out first. You're like, no, Dion!
DeAndre, fair play.
And then the crazy thing was the Voodoo Idol, which I remember you were pissed at me because it was only good till Final 6. And that kind of cost you from probably winning the game, which was a crazy thing. And just how it all played out. The Cody Alliance.
Yeah, I forgot. Like, literally that. Literally, if that was one more round, if I could have had that, I would have had to wait 2 years to win a game.
And it's cool, like, if the viewers are watching, I mean, like, I'm, like, thinking about going back and watching some of our old seasons because I forgot a lot of stuff that's happened, especially, like other ones, like Blood vs. Water we'll get to. I, like, forgot a lot of crap happened there when I was picking my one. That's an underrated season.
I remember that because I rewatched it, like, I think last summer I rewatched it, so.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
It is. Well, I think that'll about do it, so we keep it going here. So now, dive into our third season where we saw the debut of somebody else here.
I'm an attention whore. All right. I mean, obviously, I picked myself. Like, I feel like this season, it was really... I mean, it was following on the steps of Heroes vs. Villains, which was an amazing season, so obviously it's going to be very much like... I don't know. I don't want to, like, shit on my first season. I always call it Twit Manor as a joke, but it's like... I mean, you can't ignore that I was there, you know? Like, a fun thing I want to say about the bag... What?
Nothing. Keep going.
You want to repeat that? Share it to the class, Christian?
I was just saying, you were kind of a diva this season.
Yeah, I mean, talk about that solo room, how it started for you. I mean, I remember that.
Yeah,
sucked.
No, like, I literally remember, I was thinking to myself that I didn't want to go there, but once it got down to, like, me and, like, 2-3 other people, I was like, these bitches are gonna send me there, like, round fucking 1, you assholes. Like, I was so mad, and I'm like, you know what, fuck this. I get past the first round, like, that's more I can say for last time. But, like, okay, one thing I want to say about the bag dumping, for those of you who forgot about the bag dumping shit, I actually did that twice.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
First time or what, but I remember it came on the second time.
I forgot about that.
Aired. And I remember I did it the first time, and I was like, guys, I don't got anything. I dumped everything out. And then, like, Michael 2 minutes later is out, like, this bitch has something. And I'm just like... But yeah, and that's why Brienne gave that look to the camera when it aired out, because she knew, like, he just did this shit. I know what he's doing. Like, I was so fucking stupid with it. Individual immunity win was like that's like one of the funniest moments of this season where I'm just like, yes, and then like fucking Hunter's on his ass, like, and spit water on the ground, just, like, everyone's losing their shit in the sidelines.
I will say, Richie, with that challenge, like, I didn't tell Christian anything about the season because he went back to college, and I didn't want to tell him anything so he'd be surprised. I'll never forget receiving a Snapchat from Christian when he won immunity. He's like, no fucking way this happened.
Dude, I saw it. Like, I literally have it come up in my memories sometimes. I'm like, what the hell am I watching? I'm like, this is so entertaining. And then,
Well, and then, like, my exit, come on, that's, like, one of the biggest exits we had in the early seasons, at least. In later seasons really varies, because there's a lot of big exits now, but, like, in the earlier seasons, like, that was the biggest exit, I feel like, in the first three, where I flat out was all like, okay, you know what, you targeted him, he targeted you, go.
yeah.
Like, I was pissed, and I'm like, you know what, if I'm going out this early, I'm gonna start shit up on my way out, and bitches can deal with it.
Listen, Richie, I'm not gonna be mad at you for choosing yourself. For the part of the season you were on, you made a fucking flames. You made flames. I'll give you that.
All right, diving into who I had, I'm gonna have to go with Emperor White, Darius. I mean, Richie, you definitely like were consideration. Like same with Christian and like Corey. You three are like probably the three, and probably Jake are like the four most entertaining players ever. So every single time you guys play, it's gonna be in consideration. But I wanted to do a little variation. But I think Darius deserved it. I mean, complete domination the whole entire game. He, in the season before, really didn't do much. Kind of was a follower, and he completely flipped it on the other side of it. Really funny beyond it. Being the idol king, he was born there. First time he found a bunch of shit, and then he went on to do that every single time he played. And then it ultimately, like kind of with me with season one, it just comes crumbling down at the end with the final 3 challenge mistake. Yeah, I mean, I think if he didn't do that, Hunter probably still would have beat him in the challenge, but Hunter might have taken him, and Darius wins, and Darius probably gets ranked even higher than he already is, just solely on that. But I mean, I'm not going to talk about him too much because I think somebody else might have him too. So,
yeah, I picked the tuna. I think for me, it was really like first off, the dude wipes thing was hilarious.
Yeah,
and I want to give before I get into Emperor White over here, I just want to give a little bit of a shout out real quick to Nathan, who literally could have been either one of the last 2 seasons or Blood versus Water, honestly, because that guy, he is hilarious. I didn't choose him for any of them. He literally took second in my rankings for all 3 of them. So a little bit of shout out. Nathan, we love you. You are definitely like top 7 most entertaining dudes just to see on camera. You're fucking hilarious. But when it comes to tuna, all right, first off, before the second season, we all sat around a table and picked out our villain names. Like Dion was DeAndre Fairplay, I remember. That Jake was Jake Hatch. I was Milwaukee Chris or Gangsta Chris or whatever I felt like that day. Then we have Emperor White. And this guy literally was looking at everyone going, do it, do it, do it. And they listened the entire time. And then the worst part was that Darius actually started saying, do it. And they still didn't realize that he was manipulating them the whole game. I mean, the Dude Wipes Alliance was basically just the Darius minions. It was fantastic. Then you just go to letting Hunter win. I mean, dude, listen. It was a dumbass move, but it was still entertaining to watch because we're watching the last 2 or 3 rounds. We're like, Darius has this in the bag. Where's the twist? Where's the twist? Oh, it's final 2. Oh, Darius, you fucked yourself. And it was kind of like, dang, this guy had the greatest arc of growth I'd ever seen. He literally went from someone who wasn't even considered to season 4 to winning to the guy that everyone expected to win. So I thought that was really entertaining just in the South. Seeing the idols, seeing him find the idols and look at the camera during it. Just funny stuff.
I think it was funny too. If I remember right, I'm pretty sure towards the end when it kind of got to around the final 5, Hunter was actually maybe going to take a shot on Darius because he had found an idol or whatever. And then Darius revealed to Hunter that he had the voodoo idol that he could take away from Hunter. So Hunter's like, fuck, I can't even do anything. So it was just awesome.
I know, that was literally, he's like, what am I going to do? Just give him an extra chance to use it.
And I will say that season, I mean, a lot of us, back when, us 3 and Michael, when we ranked the seasons of Whitewater, we ranked it pretty low, but just because the gameplay wasn't great because it was one person doing everything. But, I mean, it was very entertaining, and it was funny. The only 2 people that really, realized what was going on that tried to do anything was Richie and Michael, and they just got left out of the dust because the minions wouldn't turn against Gru.
You mean the minions and Haley?
Oh yeah, I forgot she was in there. Oh
Haley,
yeah, she almost won.
I should have said Haley was also a
dude.
minion.
I'm sorry, Haley wasn't a minion, dude. She doesn't deserve. She was a dead body just floating.
It is crazy that she almost won.
Okay.
Richie, why'd you vote for her to win again? Yeah, that was your fault.
Okay, no, what happened was that I didn't get the answer from Hunter. I literally told Hunter a million times since like Twist Manor that I could go back knowing what I know now that I would have voted Hunter 1000%. The only reason I didn't was because I didn't get the answers from either of them that I wanted, and I was confused by who to vote for.
Yeah,
Jack, Nathan, and Michael were always going to vote Haley because they were pissed at Hunter. The other was always going to vote Hunter. I'm just sitting there, it's like, I don't know which one of you fuckers like I want to vote for, so Michael was in my ear the entire time, and he's the only one who gave me answers. So, Haley only really has Michael to thank for that vote.
I get it, Richie. I know you get bitter. It's okay.
I wasn't bitter. I didn't know who to vote for. I didn't know them. I didn't get the answers I wanted.
I think part of it, too, was Hunter was never going to win if he didn't piss off Darius, but, like, almost half the jury didn't respect the fact he didn't bring him. It's like, it just depends on the people you're with.
Well, yeah, there were some of them were like just coming from that jury. Some of them were very pissed. Like that's how I heard that. Like I heard at one point afterwards that Nathan and Jack were really bitter at Hunter and Darius too, not just Hunter, but both of them for betraying them. And I was like somewhat bitter, but I had somewhat like chilled out by the final tribal, minus my bitchy rant. But I genuinely didn't know who to vote for because was genuinely like 50-50. I don't know who did what. I've been gone a while. Like I want to hear what they have to say and. I was a bitch. I almost was gonna put that down in my thing, but then I thought it would have taken too long to talk about.
All right, Muggle. Let's move on to the next one.
Moving on.
All right, so yeah, that's an underrated season too. I mean, it's not the best gameplay if you're a new player looking to play, but it's funny. So moving on to like almost one of our first like All-Star F seasons, I thought was One World. So for my pick, I picked Cody. I mean. I think he almost played better in this season than in the season Heroes vs. Villains. I played with him, so I saw it firsthand. I mean, there's a lot of people up for grabs for this. There's a lot of people up for grabs for who could have won this one. It's just tough because a lot of it wasn't really filmed, and a lot of the moves weren't really shown great, so it's hard to analyze. So I'm just going off of being there and seeing what actually happened. I mean, he made moves correct. Right. Well, yeah. I mean, I'll just focus on Cody for now, but I know what you're talking about. But yeah, I mean, I was aligned with Cody pretty early on, and I mean, I turned on Cody and voted Kathy out with Jake, and then I turned on Jake and voted Jake out with Cody, and then the thing that kind of sold me over, I was pissed at it for a while, but I got over it. I respected it. Was when it was down to 6 people with me, and Cody had a safety without power that he actually got from Kathy, who got voted off of the game. Stupid twist that you could give people stuff once you got out of the game, I think. So that ultimately saved Cody. Cody didn't have to vote me out technically. So then it came down to just me, Hunter, Jack Trisna, Bailey, and Seth. And the three of us boys voted for Seth, and then Seth and Bailey voted for me, I believe, and one of them played an idol or something. And then there's Cody in the corner.
They found it. What all of them in the entire season makes total sense.
Yep. And then there's Cody in the corner like this, waving by to me. And I remember after the game and saying something like, I know you wanted me out there. You just didn't want to do it. He's like, no, I wouldn't have voted you off. I'm like, bro, I literally saw on the camera fucking waving by. Just admit it. It's fine. So, I mean, Cody, he got multiple advantages. I just thought it was dumb that, like, the twist, but that's not his fault. He did what he did. And, I mean, he probably should have won that season 2 if he made the final 3, but I heard some BS might happen with the Final 4 puzzle challenge. So it should be a really good season. It's just there's some rumors of what might have happened, what me and Christian think might have happened during the season rigged-wise, and a lot of it just wasn't filmed great and really like able to be shown because it could have been a really better season if for not those two things.
They needed 2 more people, or they needed to start it as literally like one tribe.
Yeah,
it was like. It's kind of similar to Cabin Fever, where there's no other feature to it for such little amount of people.
Yeah,
and
there's way too many advantages.
Redemption. That would have been perfect. I could have came back and fucking beat all your asses, anyways.
There was just too many advantages and stuff too, and I'll never forget. I was still pissed about it to this day. Like we were coming back from doing the first challenge outside, and I wasn't even there yet, or Cody, or maybe just me and Cody. And everybody got to start looking.
Someone else with you. I think it was Kathy.
Probably Kathy, yeah. And everybody got to start looking for idols and advantages. Like when we weren't even there yet. I'm like, this is horseshit. But whatever. Long time ago, I guess. But we'll dive into who Christian had, which, yeah.
Guys, it's pretty easy. Like, Cody comes in, he dominates a season full of a lot of masterminds. He started the game off with me and Kathy, literally just renewed our alliance from season 2. And I really wasn't, like, it, believe it or not, really was not planning on betraying him at any moment. Like, if it came up at a certain point, I probably, like, it didn't really feel like, for some reason, that game, it just felt like I had to work with him. And he, like, the way it was, he did a good job of getting to me. So I was like, dang, like, this guy is really good at the game. You know, he had flashy ass moves, like you kind of already talked on him, but he's also like, it says quickly, it did say quirky. I don't know if it auto corrected. He's quirky in his quotes.
Yeah.
So this guy like comes in and it's always like he's saying something, but he's got that little smirk on his face, like he knows what's going on.
Yep.
And it's just like the knowledge of the game. It's just entertaining to me because it's like, as a student of the game too, I like to sit there and like, he's someone that you can watch and learn a lot from the game and learn what's going on.
Oh, definitely.
So it's very fun to watch him, and I think he deserves his flowers as an entertainer because although he might not be the first person to be like super loud, he's still flashy, and you see it when he doesn't move. He's doing something, whether it's just like that, just smirking at you, going bye bye, all that, the little things. He does the little things that just piss you off. It's like little needles poking in you. So it's good. I love him. He's definitely probably one of my best alliance members I've had. Probably top 3 for sure.
All right, let's close off season 4 One World with Richie's pick.
All right, so my pick.
Avada Kedavra!
Okay,
Cheater!
Bad jokes in you. I wanted to. Anyways, no, for me, Christian, you were actually really close to making this pick too. I almost actually picked you for this. Hunter was somewhat
He was
close.
in there 3 rounds, bro.
No. When you guys said entertaining, I legit thought story of the season, like redemption arcs. What was like the general story of the season? And for me, it came off as Bailey and Seth's redemption arc is what it kind of came up with like the couple's underdog story. And Christian is going to give you PTSD, but come on, that tribal council is pretty iconic in some ways just because there were, regardless of where he found them, the fact that he did play 2 from just him alone, 2 at 1 tribal from him.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think we really
give him credit for making the move. It just was really dumb when he needed it the next round. He didn't have him.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, yeah, it was still, yeah. I just want to say it's iconic.
He aligned with someone that voted for him. It was funny. Sorry.
But yeah, no, yeah, it's just for me at least. The thing is that I don't think we've ever really had anyone else who has like played 2 idols from one person in the same tribal, same round, whatever. Like we've had people play like one idol for myself versus 2, one idol for myself, but I don't think we've had many people. I think, was he the only one? What did he say?
I said most people aren't that stupid to do that. So yeah, you're right.
And I'd say
I mean, it's still a pretty big thing, yeah. And then it's like kind of, I feel like even though Seth has not come back since One World, I do kind of feel like this was like somewhat of a redemption arc, you know, like, in a way where like the first 2 seasons he was like towards the bottom half, and this season he actually like could have had a decent shot at winning. I mean, I do think I wanted to at least give him a shot at as well because it's like he's a big player. At least I thought he was a big player within the parameters of the season. Of course, there were also a lot of things I've also heard about the season being rigged or certain things looking a little more unfair than it should have been. I'm not going to say too much about it because I don't reveal my sources. But yeah, I think some people have heard some interesting stories. Not to discredit Bailey or anyone else who was involved in the season, but like,
yeah, I mean, I do wish I would have saw. I wish I would have saw him play again. Honestly, I mean, I invited Seth and Bailey playing Legends. I think they just had something going on, but I mean, he was entertaining. I mean, he did take me out and things like that, and made it pretty far. But
yeah, for me, I thought like the base like entertaining right away, and like the story of the season. Sorry, what did you say?
Said we would have voted them out right away, first round every time. Anyways, it wouldn't have mattered. And Legends, they would have been irrelevant.
It would have been interesting to see how he played. You know,
the only person that would have benefited from that would have been probably Brienne Evers. And
he would have hated me. I'm going to say that right now.
I don't think she played that season.
She didn't play. I'm saying like she's the only person that probably would have benefited from them being there. I don't see anyone else really working with them. Maybe Maggie, but like Maggie was just a minion.
Oh, in Legends,
the game until the end.
In Legends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any?
I mean, I probably would have tried to work with them, but like it wouldn't have been as tight as we were, or as like me and Kathy, me and you, me and Hunter. Like it wouldn't have been like tight like that. I probably would have
Exactly.
tried.
I just think they would have been out early, anyways. Is what I'm saying. I think they would have been the easy outs in the
I
beginning.
can see Bailey going out early. Steph, like maybe like beginning of the merge, like where I ended up, depending on how many people.
It depends, Richie. If Seth ended up on our tribe, he would have been the first one out. Cheaters don't get to stay in the game, especially when they don't deserve to be on Legends. Sorry. That's the way I would have said it. I would have told Ben.
I really wish you guys would have had
Ben probably would have looked at him and literally would have been like, yeah, get this fucker out. Sorry. Like, Adam would have been like, I hate this kid. Like, if all three of us did not like him, if Bailey was on our tribe, probably would have been the same thing. So.
How much you want to bet they both would have just got annoyed with my ass after like 20 minutes? So let's be honest about that. Like, they would have looked at me and been like, get this fat kid out of her face. Get him, shut him out.
We were on our tribe to start. What are you talking about?
What? No, I meant Seth and Bailey. Like, like if they were on our tribe.
Yeah, if they tried to get you out, Richie, they would have been the next ones to go every single time. So.
All right. Well, that's it for One World. In a second, we'll be diving into Season 5 Winter War, one of our best. All right. So now, diving into Season 5 Winter War, Christian, kick it off.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple for me. There's some funny quotes. I mean, it could have been a few other people in here. Someone who isn't going to be mentioned, so I won't bring him up. But Colin, obviously, very entertaining too in this season. But you got to respect dominance, man. And in this game, can we just start off with how many challenges in a row was he winning? Like, he was just killing them. And this guy's putting on the Lannister tribe helmet when they win. It was just funny to see him. Adam kind of coming out of his shell during the season a little bit, like slowly starting off quiet, and then all of a sudden, just like out of nowhere, like kind of talking crap. Remind me a lot of Spencer from the Real Show. But it was just awesome that he was just like masterminding, manipulating stuff. I mean, when people would do stuff and he felt disrespected, he'd get like really upset, and it's great to see that. He was a challenge beast, and he like I said, like this guy grabbed the vote when he was voting on it and spit on it to make sure that it was sealed. He was like right on his vote. And he's like sealed. Like he's just saying all these stupid things like in his interviews, and it was just really funny seeing him like know what was going on, manipulate people, and like people just listened to him. It just happened, and he would have won the game had he made the end. Like literally, it was kind of an easy idea to get him out at 5. Like it kind of solidified the trend in the early seasons that the best player went out between 4 and 5 of like each season for a while, and it took a few seasons for like better players to actually win the game. It was always like the second or third best player.
Yeah, I agree with that. I thought about Adam too. It's a great season. I thought about my brother as well, who ended up winning. But let's get into what Richie's pick was.
Yeah. I will say Adam was actually pretty close to making on him too. Like Adam and Griffin both were. I ended up choosing Ness because I mean, again, I thought about the main thing I gave with Seth saying, talking about the story of the season, each person's like little growth, character arc, whatever you want to call it. Ness literally had the Charlie Brown like story arc, and I will bitch about the Targaryen tribe shit because that was a shit show. Like personal experience, I hate it. It was such a shit show, but
It's your fault.
What?
It's your fault.
I didn't do anything, bro.
Yeah, literally, exactly. That's why you kept losing.
Okay, literally though, like she literally has this like Charlie Brown-esque story arc where like literally everything that could go wrong goes wrong for her. She like literally is on the worst tribes at the start of the game. She loses a lot of her allies, and even at the merge, she thinks she's in a good spot. Guess what? Each and every person she's aligned with goes one by one until her last ally fucks her over right at the end of her game. Like just, and I mean, I think we've definitely seen a lot more of Ness the last couple times she was on, but like I think this version just kind of really like solidified her at least as a notable character within the season, just because of the fact that she was one of the last ones standing. We all kept trying to target her every chance we could at the beginning of the game, and as she kept like outlasting us, which I thought was kind of funny that she was the last one standing when we all were thinking about, when I even campaigned for her to be the first one out. So it's just a lot of interesting shit overall with her overall story throughout the season that I thought was just really fun to touch on. A lot of the shenanigans with her idol, just a lot of fun stuff with that. So
yeah, for sure. All right, so my pick to end season 5 is Griffin. Dude's only Dude has only played one time. He is one of a kind person. I've never met somebody anywhere similar to this guy. No
Nope.
filter, hilarious as hell. I don't think he understood what was going on at first, and then he really picked up on it. I actually thought he knew a good amount of how it worked and everything, and he just kind of got fucked in the beginning of the merge. He was really close with my brother and Jack Demet in their alliance. He got blindsided 5-4-1. Like, it was a close vote. Um, yeah, do I think he would have won? Probably not, but I'm going off most entertaining. He made me laugh. Never knew what the guy was going to say. Wasn't afraid to get into fights or speak his mind. I mean, one
He
guy that
argued so much.
right, one guy I wish that would have played again that we never got, just never worked out. And it probably won't just because he lives a little bit further away than us. But yeah, he was a great one-time player, and I think he could have developed into a better player. But he was such a funny character. I don't know what else to really say.
Yeah,
You know,
he's
we
someone
would have
I
a
definitely.
season of all like these players on the same season, like just for the memes.
Calm versus chaos.
Dude, yes.
How about just memes? How about just the meme team?
Any other comments, guys, or are you guys ready to move into another?
I was just gonna say like what you were saying on before. Like Griffin is someone who almost was my pick for that. It was literally like 4 a.m. last night. I was up deciding some of this, and I was just like, really, yeah. You give me that look. That's normal for me. I'm a night owl, but Griffin was really close to making it my pick. But like Griffin is someone I really do. He's one of the men. I mean, I have a lot of people. Like some being niche picks, some being obvious picks. Like Griffin's an obvious pick. I would love to hopefully see him come back again someday, but it really, yeah. I mean, I'd love to see him come back someday. He was very entertaining, and I mean, I do love. I remember the episode after I got voted off. We had like a segment about Roddy Rich or whatever. He kept calling me and like the freaking
Forgot about that.
Dude, I was trying to think of what his like all-time quote was. He goes, "Roddy Rich won't just shut up."
I hate to say it, but I always forget Richie was in that season.
Okay, wow, I didn't forget that. That was like one of the only few seasons I don't think I like bitched at someone on my way out. Actually, like that was my only quiet exit.
Exit, yeah, you bitched at people plenty during the game, so I think it worked out.
Well, no, that season I was actually trying like so hard that season. But I can get into some other time. Like I was
literally. I'll give you this. It really did come down to like your tribe just not carrying the weight. The strong players on that tribe, including you, didn't carry the weight. So
yeah,
Casey outlasted me was the most humiliating part. So
yeah, whatever.
No comment. All right, moving into season 6, Battle Royale, the last season I've ever played in. Richie can kick it off.
So,
yeah.
I mean, Giselle is like one of the bigger underdog characters in Battle Royale. I mean, one of the reasons I picked her was just because there's so much chaos that she starts early in the game that we see, and I even remember I rewatched most of this season a couple months ago, where there's a whole like tribe idol chaos, and I'm pretty sure it was Scorpion's tribe. That was your tribe, right, Devin?
Yep.
The starting one. Yeah, that's what I thought. It was the orange tribe. And everyone's like freaking out because Giselle and Evan have these idols, and they're like
Evan.
the two main
God.
targets. Yeah, there was so much chaos,
existed.
and like from there,
Evan
she's
the worst player of all time.
Every single round after that, she was just
there.
back and forth the chaos with this. I don't know, it was fun. Like obviously, every time someone wanted to get her out, she either won immunity or she dangled around her little idol. So I mean, Giselle is also someone. It's like we were saying before. Like I'd love to see Giselle back. I know she's been in the mix here and there. I know sometimes she hasn't been able to because other shit, like flat out. If I ever like host a future season, Giselle's high up for someone I'd want to see back if I have returnees on. But because I mean, come on, it'd be interesting to see like could she do it again?
I think she could do it again.
Giselle is very interesting.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, she could do good again. I think Christian.
I definitely think she could. I think like a part of the only big problem she was put in this underdog role so early on was I don't want to say because of the idol because I'm assuming there's a lot of other factors we don't know because of the way the season was edited. From stuff I've heard from people, but like
yeah, don't even want to get started on that crap. But when you don't have half the council, that's all I gotta say about anything. Like what the hell's wrong with you, Michael?
Yeah, I'll piggyback off Richie because I actually picked her too. I mean, to be quite honest with you, like I did want to pick myself because I can't even really remember a lot of stuff that happened that season because I know some crazy things happened with Hunter, but yeah, I mean Giselle, I did play with her a lot, so I thought of her and I thought she was actually like solid player developing into something maybe could be really good. She blindsided me, I guess, so I'll give her that. Was a dumb move, but she was a like pretty physical like player. Like she was like good at challenges, and she wasn't afraid to speak her mind. I'll never forget when it was me, Casey, Giselle, and Hunter in a tribe of 4 people because that's what one of our tribes was, and we were about to go to tribal council, and I did not know what was gonna happen. I knew Hunter had an idol, she had an idol, I had like I'm pretty sure an extra vote or steal a vote or something. I'm like, sucks. I'm probably gonna get out here. And then we had the double tribal where I took out that whatever his name was. I forget. Riley. Yeah. Yeah. There's just this season. They're just I hate to say it and not to shit on Michael. It just like wasn't a good season. And I mean I after I got out I was pretty pissed off. But I don't know. Giselle, she played good. She was entertaining. I remember the final 3 was horrible. I love all those girls, Bree, and Sam, but or not Bree and Sam, Bree, Sam, and Dakota, but
you forget Dakota, Devin.
Did a horrible job explaining to me what they did because they didn't do anything. So I don't know what else to really say. But
I've heard a couple things about the final 3 that you had a heavy impact into that. That apparently I think it was like Bailey was gonna vote Sam until you told her.
Oh yeah. I got my last laugh at Sam. I did actually. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna let you talk more about it. That's why I was bringing it.
No, bring it. Richie, to be honest, because it's been so long, and I try to forget about that season, like I know you do with some of yours. So you can say
I can't forget it, Devin. I have problems up here. I can't forget it. Devin. I have like an epileptic memory. Not epileptic.
We'll get into who's Christian's was, and then you can add that at the end before we go to season 7. All right, Richie?
Yeah.
All right, so I picked Devin. It kind of came down to this for me. All right, entertainment is quotes, moves, all that kind of stuff. It was either him or Hunter. Giselle, you did fine. Like, you did good. But you're basically just Emma before Emma, and Emma's honestly a better version of you. So, granted, she's played multiple times, so she's been able to grow as a player more. She just hasn't. Like, that's not anything against Giselle. I think she actually was, like, one of the more promising people that we just haven't had come back. But on to the Devontre, all right? I don't think we realize, like, obviously we kicked it off with Devin dominating season. I would argue the second era of Survivor started because of the BS that Devin was doing in this game. And I don't think even he realizes it. The first 5 seasons, everyone's new, getting to meet each other and stuff. Devin's the first person to coin, like, literally, my strategy, I don't have any friends. Like, you guys aren't my friends. I don't care who you are. I don't care if I've aligned with you before. I don't care if I'm pretending to align with you now. You're going to go out when I say so. And he did. And that's what happened. I mean, he literally, half these people, he's like, screw you, like, whatever, like, you're not good at this game. He's just being blunt in how it is. He's like, sorry, I don't need to make friends. I already have them. Like, it was just funny to see him say that to Giselle. And, like, that really kind of kicked the ball rolling where you saw, wow, like, season 7 and on, people started working with their enemies a little more, guess what? They played with their friends, but they voted them out a lot more. You know, literally Darius didn't vote out Hunter, and it was the bane of his existence. Like, things like that. Like, it was very impactful, so that is entertainment to me. But then also, like, just Kyle being in that season with you, kind of like, it was kind of funny to watch you two together, like, just interact and stuff. Like, you'd be like, Kyle, seriously?
Like, honestly, with Kyle, like, that was really my only hope of making it far because I had a good alliance. It was me, Hunter, Bree, England, I believe. I don't remember who else was in it. And then
you had Casey in there, but he was like the last number.
Casey was kind of on that. Casey was kind of close with me in that game, but he was kind of on the outside of the lines, and they blindsided me, and I got out because of an idol. I know I wasn't even the majority vote. I think there's just a few people, and Hunter said that he wanted me out. He didn't write my name down, but he said he was playing that, which I'll give him that. But
sorry, he didn't write your name down, and I'm not giving him credit the same way. If people don't like, that's why some people don't love Vin's strategy. Although Vin's, it was a little bit more
for jury management, really.
No, I respect it for the way Vin was doing it.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying I don't.
Richie, let me finish my thought, please. Okay, let me finish it. Vin was doing it in a way that was specific for a person. Hunter needs to realize that Devin's going out, whether you know it or not. Like, whether you vote for him or not, if you know about it, he's not giving you his vote, and he's going to even respect you less for not writing down his name. You have a better chance of getting his vote and earning his respect for making the move. And at the end of the day, there's a reason Devin did go out before him. Devin was easily the best player there at that time. Hunter did play really well that season. Hunter is a great player, and I've said 100 times I respect his game. There's pieces you got to take from it to be able to make the end. But there is a reason, and maybe it's Devin's more likely to take out other people. It's just the eerie feeling that everyone has that they know Devin's about to get my ass if I don't get him first. And I think that's the feeling that maybe people feel with maybe a player like myself or Cody or Devin that put us a little bit higher up because we have to fight that feeling versus I don't know if people get that with Hunter.
Yeah, I mean, I do remember I got out because an idol, Giselle played her idol. She was gonna go out there, and then I think there's a few, like 2 or 3 votes from me. I don't remember exactly. But yeah, I don't. I think the only key for me really making it far in that game, if I survived that round, I would have probably had to win immunities and maybe threw Hunter under the bus. I don't know what I would have done. I haven't thought about it in a long time. Um, but I will say, like, yeah, Kyle was the key with me. We had a joint tribal. He was on the other tribe, and he immediately voted with us. And when his tribe lost, and there was like 3 people, it was like Sam, him, and somebody else. I literally said to Hunter, even because I knew Hunter had an idol, like jokingly, but if I had an idol in Hunter's spot for my like game, I would have given my idol to Kyle and played it for himself. Because Kyle in the game would have been the most important thing for me. And I jokingly said to Hunter, remember after that, I was like, bro, when they lost the challenge, I'm like, dude, you should give your idol to Kyle because that'll be a number for us. And it's like, I'm not doing that. And I was just played it off like I was joking. But
yeah. Okay, so I remember. I think it was you who told me this story. Where so apparently, from what I heard, it was originally going to be a 3-3 tie between Branglin and Sam Adler.
For like to win the game.
Maggie would have been like the only vote for Dakota originally, and what happened was that apparently, Devin, I think it was the jury roundtable, or as they were voting, you looked over at Bailey, and you two were talking about something. I forgot what you told me you were talking about, but apparently, you told Bailey that Sam called that when you were talking to Sam at the start of the merge, that Sam called Bailey her bitch. Like, Bailey's my bitch; she'll do whatever I want her to do.
Yeah, she did say that.
And,
yeah, I forgot about that.
And apparently, you told Bailey that at the final tribal or jury roundtable, whatever it was. And Bailey got so pissed that she changed her vote at the last second to Dakota just because she was. I heard it was just because she was really pissed off at Sam Adler for it. And then what happened was that Brie ended up kind of winning by a plurality because of the fact it was like, So yeah. I don't know. I feel like I didn't get a lot of reasoning from Maggie for Dakota.
Yeah, it could have been a better season. I think just a lot of some of the filming got cut. I mean, not Richie. Michael didn't have the best film crew.
Michael didn't have Richie. I was actually almost on that season. Actually, I don't know if many people know that. I was on the cast list, and then when he changed,
I don't think anyone knows that, Richie. I think only you know that.
No, I told a couple people about it, but I was supposed to be on that season, and then when he changed the date to like 2 to 3 weeks later, I was like, "Bitch, I'm busy. I can't do it that day." So I heard Kathy, Nathan, Brienne, Jackson Metz, Natalie from season 1 was supposed to be on it. I've heard a lot. Juice and Rob somehow got the call. Juice told me he got the call. I'm surprised he hasn't come back. Well, that's a different conversation, but yeah, I think like almost everyone got the call. So I mean,
yeah,